The Drake Passage is known as one of the most feared maritime routes in the world. Located between the southern tip of South America and Antarctica, this area is a nightmare for navigators and the cause of countless shipwrecks. But why do ships avoid passing under South America? And what makes this region one of the greatest challenges for navigation? Let's explore this now. The Drake Passage is a narrow strip of the Southern Ocean, connecting the Atlantic and the Pacific Oceans. This stretch of sea is infamous not only for its remote location, but for its extreme conditions. Throughout history, more than 20,000 sailors have lost their lives attempting to cross it, and around 800 ships have sunk in its waters. The reasons behind this danger are a powerful combination of geography, climate, and natural forces. First, let's understand the region's unique geography. The Drake Passage lies close to the South Pole, where the waters are icy and turbulent. This area is the meeting point for the currents of the Atlantic, Pacific, Southern, and Indian Oceans, which swirl around Antarctica in a massive whirlpool. When these currents reach the Drake Passage, they are forced through a narrow funnel of water between the tip of South America and the Antarctic Peninsula. This creates maritime currents of extreme intensity, about 600 times stronger than those of the Amazon River. Imagine a continuous flow of water with massive force, narrowing into a limited passage, resulting in an unpredictable and turbulent sea. Now, add the winds. The Drake Passage is constantly swept by very strong winds, primarily coming from the southwest. These winds create gigantic waves, which frequently exceed 10 meters in height. These waves form real mountains of water that make navigation nearly impossible. In 2022, for instance, a cruise ship crossing the Drake Passage was hit by one of these massive waves, resulting in the death of a crew member and injuries to several passengers. High-intensity winds not only increase wave height, but also create unpredictability, making it even harder to control vessels. Another critical danger in the Drake Passage is ice. During the winter, enormous ice blocks form in Antarctica and are carried by currents into this passage. These ice chunks can move at high speed, representing real moving obstacles for ships. In October 2022, a satellite recorded the iceberg A76, the world's largest iceberg at the time, floating near the Drake Passage. Imagine crossing this route knowing that giant icebergs like this could appear at any moment. In 2007, a cruise ship carrying over 150 passengers collided with an iceberg in this region and sank shortly afterward. Fortunately, all passengers were rescued, but the incident highlights the real risk of traversing these waters. The combination of strong winds, intense currents, and floating icebergs makes the Drake Passage a deadly route, to the point that cargo ships avoid it whenever possible. This situation economically impacts South America, as it limits commercial routes. The Strait of Magellan, another route south of the continent, is a calmer and more sheltered option, but maritime transport in the region remains challenging and costly. The great distance between South America and the main world markets, such as the United States, Europe, and Asia, makes voyages long and expensive. To give an idea, the distance between the tip of South America and the United States is 9,300 kilometers. To Portugal in Europe, it's 12,000 kilometers. And to Asia, it's over 16,000 kilometers. The Drake Passage, with its reputation and risks, not only affects navigation, but also limits the development of trade routes for South America. Over the centuries, navigators have tried to tame this route, but the rough seas and extreme conditions prove that nature is still in control. So, the next time you imagine a ship crossing the far southern reaches of the planet, remember, it's passing through one of the most feared seas in the world.